everybody. Welcome to TAPED Crusaders, the podcast that reviews every single superhero thingamabob ever made. I'm your co-host, Michael, and as always, I'm joined by
Joshua Mervell, and today we're going to be taking a look at the made-for-TV movie, Death of the Incredible Hulk.
Yes, and we actually considered not reviewing this movie because it didn't introduce a new character, but Champ Ian insisted that we review it.
Thanks a lot,
So
Ian.
you can blame Champion. Thanks for joining us, Champion.
I'm certainly blaming myself.
What can we say? So this movie came on the heels of two other movies. One Hulk movie introduced Thor. Then the next one introduced Daredevil. Then this was like the third one, right? This was 1989, I think. 1990.
I think 90.
1990.
Yeah, I think 90.
Bill Bixby comes back.
We don't do research.
Bill Bixby directs. Didn't write it, but he directed it.
Again, right.
He directed it again.
Yeah.
Essentially, they actually wanted to introduce Black Widow, which is why this character is a Russian spy, but they just changed the name. Why did they do that? Who knows?
Interesting.
Basically, Bill Bixby, Bruce Banner, David Banner. Yeah, do you want to tell everyone what happens in this movie very quickly?
Nothing really happens in this movie.
So, let's review it. No, basically, David Banner is working at a...
He's working in a laboratory
as a janitor.
As a janitor.
Right.
He's doing a great impression of someone who's been lobotomized.
Yeah.
He is just, for the first 20 minutes of this movie, he's just, hi. I'm so-and-so.
Yeah.
I like movies and popcorn.
Kind of like us. He's imitating someone on the spectrum, I believe, right? He's just trying to be a simpleton, for lack of a better term, right?
I'm sure there are better terms.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a better term than that. But in order to draw attention away from himself, and also...
Which is strange. Why not just be a janitor?
Yeah, but I think the idea is that he also wants to gain their trust so that he can eventually break into
the lab.
So that he can...
and I think there's an element that he wants to... try and not so much cover his tracks, but he wants to come across as dim a person as possible, so he is not suspected in the slightest when somebody does break into this lab, which he does. And the Dr. Ronald something or other
Pratt,
Dr. Ronald Pratt,
right,
Ronnie,
Fish?
Dr. Ron. He's researching some sort of genetic stuff. He's got some
scribbles on the
chalkboard of various genetic codes, which David Banner, he corrects, and he leaves little notes in his computer. The two of them kind of get to know each other through this little collaboration that they're doing that they don't realize that they're doing. So the doctor, he waits around one night and he runs into David Banner, and they realize who each other are, and they start to collaborate on trying to get him back to normal. They try an experiment. The experiment is it's interrupted by
some Russian spy. Right.
And that's the Russian spy and David Banner end up becoming friends.
And falling in love,
going to a cabin, making love.
And then
the movie ends.
And then the Hulk kind of intervenes on the bad guys when they're trying to get away in a helicopter.
There's a power struggle amongst the organization that these bad people are.
Sure.
She's being sort of ousted, and there's an attempt on her life.
Right.
He saves her, and then they bond, and then.
Right. And then the Hulk. And then the Hulk gets into the plane, tries to stop them, but then they turn around and shoot him.
No, they shoot the plane from inside.
Is it on purpose?
No. The Hulk grabs her hand as she's shooting and then points it down into the jet, which causes it to explode.
Okay, and then the Hulk dies. Yes. The Hulk dies. Yes. Okay. So
we did watch this movie, by the way. I watched it yesterday.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
It's just so little happening.
But wait, can I just say I watched it on TV the day it premiered, okay? Mm-hmm. And the image of the Hulk falling
in slow motion
my dreams. I actually
for minutes.
To this day, I still think it's very sad. And when I watched this film, I did tear up a little bit because the Hulk died. So I think it was not as effective as I remembered it to be when I was a kid, but it was pretty effective when he died. And even as a kid, you know, you're watching this film and you're going, oh yeah, if the Hulk fell out of a plane, of course he would die, right? Like, even though there's no rule that says he would die.
Right.
But yeah, he died. Anyway.
Yeah, because like it's so strange though. I don't buy it that he would die. Like maybe as a kid I would, but like they so clearly set up that like he's indestructible in this one. Like they even do tests on him specifically to see how fast he can heal and how nothing can kill him. Bullets can't kill him, but a fall from a plane can kill him. It's just,
let's put it this way. We'll talk about that later, but I actually enjoyed every second of this movie, and I thought it would be bad because the ratings were so low on like Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb, but I found myself, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for it to get bad. It's not getting bad. What happened? Ian, were you in the same boat as me?
Well, I was waiting for it to get bad as well, and then I realized, it just started off bad.
Okay.
So there was nowhere for it to get to. It was already there. I didn't cry at the end, not even a little bit.
You didn't weep openly?
I did not weep openly. I did not weep in private. The image of the Hulk falling for minutes
just
from
over and
did
over.
not haunt your nightmares?
No, it's not going to be something that I think about. What did haunt my nightmares were the size of the credits.
Oh
my
God! You mean like the video toaster, like automatic font?
Yes,
like,
yes.
right,
Except
yeah.
like how big can we make this font? And it's like Bill Bixby searing into my retinas. That was more terrifying than anything else that happened in this film.
Okay, but I guess for the last two, like, you know, Daredevil didn't quite work. Thor didn't quite work. Didn't you feel like this was more back to the old series of like a realistic drama of like we have a goal, we have to cure the Bruce David Banner, and then we have a Russian spy come in and
sure. Okay. It does feel less like a backdoor pilot because I'm assuming they weren't trying to actually make a Black Widow spinoff.
Well, maybe they were originally, but let's just assume. I don't know.
Yeah. So I didn't get the feeling that this was made to sell another TV show or another character, but I just thought the story was not good. I like the idea of David Banner. I mean, throughout the series as well, he's trying to find a cure, and that's why he's kind of going from place to place. And we get that here, but after the raid on the lab, all of that is kind of thrown out the window, and they just hang out and talk to each other. There's not much like threat. There's no problem solving. They're not really like they're hiding in the cabin, and then they hear on the news that the scientist is missing. So they're like, okay, I guess we have to go save the scientist. Like I don't know. It just doesn't.
Well, okay, maybe the plot wasn't super tight, but
yeah.
Let's just back up.
I don't know.
Okay, let's just talk about. We'll talk about the actors in this movie, and then maybe that will refresh our memories for who's who. So obviously, Bill Bixby's always good. Lou Ferrigno's always good, but we're gonna talk about Elizabeth Grayson as Black Widow / not Black Widow, Jasmine. I mean, I thought she was fine, and not only did I think her acting was good, I actually thought that all of the tricks that she used to disguise her identity were pretty effective. What did you think, Ian?
I thought that was a great way to start things off. I thought that her character was kind of interesting until she had the falling out with her organization and until she met the Incredible Hulk or David Banner, and then she just became this weepy like this delicate flower of a person that like really you were a badass. Mm-hmm. And now you're not.
And after half of a day, now you're in love with this person, and we're expected to believe that like they're soulmates. And when the Hulk and David Banner die, she's like
she's devastated.
No, yeah. And I don't know. I do think that there are moments where she does shine. I think, like Ian said, When she's doing her spy stuff, it really, really works.
Mm-hmm.
When she's in the bar and she's talking to that guy, and then she goes into the bathroom, and the like little almost like montage of her like changing into a different outfit was really, really good. I loved all that stuff.
That's like writing and directing too. That was effective. Mm-hmm. It was actually pretty clever.
I like the little touches, the little callbacks where like whenever she's taking her earrings off, it's just a little snap.
Yeah.
And she's always just pulling them off. And it's just like, this is always something as part of her costume.
Yeah. And how everything like unfolded both was like smart in like a practical sense for the character, but also looked really good when she's supposed to be doing this quick change. Like she takes off the like weird like strap over her dress, and then like the pants fold out from underneath the skirt. Like there's just so many things that are really
Somebody
thought out. And
about it.
I really enjoyed that.
It was effective. It was smart. As with every Hulk episode or movie, I like the fact that it was in like a lab, just a plain looking lab. You know what I mean? And I liked all that stuff. I liked the resort they were in. I guess the one thing is it felt like they were kind of always in one building, and there was like the Russians that would come in, and then they went to that that cabin out in the woods, but it felt a little bit claustrophobic maybe. And like once they got like once the scientists discovered David Banner, they kind of stayed there a long time.
Yeah,
they kind of just talked and figured things out, and it kind of went nowhere for a while in the middle there.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're still talking about actors here, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So we got her, and then
she was actually Miss America.
Oh, really?
Back in the early 80s.
So did you do research?
We don't do that.
I did a little bit of research because some of the characters looked familiar.
Oh, okay.
And they looked familiar for reasons that were justified.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Because I'd seen them in other things.
Yeah, so that's good. That's a good thing, right? So there's not many other actors to talk about, but we do have Philip Sterling as Dr. Ronald Pratt, the old guy. He was fine.
Yeah, he was an old doctor. Whatever.
Yeah.
Not much to say.
Okay. I think for what the character is and what he got a chance to do, he did a fine job. I don't know.
What?
It's just fine. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like nothing about this or even the acting felt like it was a movie. Didn't feel like a spectacle.
Well, it
didn't
felt
feel
like
like
a TV episode, 100%. Yeah.
And it also didn't feel like they revised the script of a TV episode. It just feels like they stretched it out to an hour and a half.
Could be.
Yeah.
Now, what did you guys think about the bad guy played by Andrew Katsoulis, who also played a character on Babylon 5, and he played a Romulan commander on Star Trek Next Generation?
That's the guy that I was recognizing.
That guy.
Yeah. Commander Tomalak.
Yes, Tomalak. He was good, right?
Yeah, he was fine.
Sure.
He was fine. Although I was too distracted by like, where do I know this guy from to really pay attention to what he was doing. But
I thought he was fine in what he did, right? Again, this is a TV show. It was low budget. As we addressed, the credits were created in 5 seconds on a video toaster. So it probably was low budget, right? It's probably just like, okay, we got like 2 weeks. Let's get this sucker done. You know what I mean? Who's available? Let's get them.
Was this show not like a huge success? Like, did the movies not do well?
The TV show lasted 5 years. So yes, it was a success.
Yeah.
However, it was canceled in 82, and these were TV movies like
follow up
6-7 years later. I mean, the only thing I can say is, let's remember, Knight Rider was a big show. Do you remember the TV movie revivals or reunions?
Was there one?
Yeah.
Is it going to be something we're reviewing?
Maybe. Keeping suspense. I'm sure there was, $6 Million Man reunions. There was Brady Bunch reunions.
Sure.
These movies, they come and go. No one remembers them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
This is the way of the world, folks. At least it was back then. Nowadays, they don't do it as much. But there's only one actor we got to talk about, and that's the sister of the spy, played by. Wait a minute. Was it Anna Katarina? She was the older sister. I thought she was pretty good.
Yeah.
She wasn't really in the movie much.
Yeah.
For being the
twist?
top villain
Yeah.
and the big plot twist, there really wasn't much to do with her.
Does she do anything besides betray her sister in the movie? I'm trying to think of like.
I thought she had a pretty good heel turn, right? Like she was nice to the couple, and then she still wanted to kill her.
Are you talking about when they had the doctor and his wife?
Yes.
And then she pretended to be nice for a minute?
Yeah.
Wasn't
Wasn't that great?
I wouldn't really call that a heel turn. Because
No,
we already knew that she
I feel
was
like
evil.
yeah.
Well, I thought that maybe she's gonna be nice, but then she wasn't. So
Nah, she's just plying her evil trade to try and trick
Okay.
them into thinking that she's
yeah, she already betrayed her
relatable.
sister, so
Okay.
I didn't think.
Yeah, at that point I
You
think
didn't-
she's already
you weren't
said,
tricked.
yeah, kill my
I was
sister.
tricked. I was
Yeah.
tricked. Okay, well that's it. That's the plot.
Yeah.
So
Basically.
I got to point out a couple things. Did you notice that when David Banner turns to the Hulk, there was no actual transformation?
yeah.
because they didn't have the budget for it.
Oh, really?
So they just had him had the white eyes, and then just cut to Lou Ferrigno in the makeup. Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't use reuse
stock footage.
Yeah,
they could have. You're right.
Stuff from, but
Although
that's
speaking of
interesting.
stock footage, in the original TV show, every time they showed the shot of the lightning flashing when the Hulk first turns into the Hulk, they had to pay money for that stock footage of the lightning. So maybe
interesting.
it was like, we don't want to pay the rights to have this old footage of the Hulk, turning into the Hulk, so we're just gonna not show it.
That's so
Yeah,
weird. I wonder how much that stock footage would have cost them.
like $25 probably. Yeah.
I imagine.
So okay, I guess the question is, how does this compare to the Daredevil and Thor movies? Is this a good
I think at least with the other ones, they're trying to do something interesting. Like they're introducing new characters. There feels like maybe a little bit more of a plot. This one, I don't know. I'm just not interested, which sucks because I feel like I would rather just watch a story with David Banner trying to cure himself and then finally getting that rest that he is so desperate for, but in the form of death is so poetic and honestly the best way to end this series. I think it would be very unsatisfying if he just cured himself and walked away,
Yeah.
I feel like this is the way to end it, but I just feel like the build up to that moment was not there and it wasn't like an interesting process to get to that end point.
It felt a little bit flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think?
A little bit flat is an understatement.
Okay,
There
so
was
flat.
Like the plot and the tone and everything of this was just. It's like they were trying to finish it and get it done, and just all right, let's get this in the can so we can go do something else. It felt like they were in some way contractually obligated to make this movie, right? It didn't seem as though anyone was having any fun. It didn't seem as though anyone was excited to be there. It was just like, we got this Hulk movie to do. All right, let's do this Hulk movie.
Yeah.
I think the girl playing, what's her name again? Hold on. I think Elizabeth Grayson was having a little bit of fun as Jasmine. I thought a little bit of fun.
I'm going to say that she was probably the standout in this movie because she did seem like she was doing something.
Yeah.
Nobody else felt like they were doing anything. And again, that's only the first half of the movie. After that, she was
very
like
melodramatic.
yeah,
And not,
let's run away together. Let's
don't
start
buy
our
it.
new lives. Like, you met this guy 8 minutes ago.
And then when the Hulk dies and she's like holding his hand and then he turns back into David Banner, her like crying and like pleading was like so. It really
Forced,
it took me out of the moment, which I was barely in anyways because I had just watched the Hulk fall from an airplane for 5 minutes straight. So I don't know. I didn't love it, and I kind of liked the other two. They had this weird charm to them, and I enjoyed moments in them. But this one, I was pretty much bored from the start. I don't know. I didn't love it.
Same.
It lacked something. It lacked energy. However, it lacked a lot. However, I do admire it at least for, I think it was the most serious of the three. if that means anything in a superhero movie. Because the Daredevil one and the Thor one were both so hokey that at least someone wasn't karate chopping a Kleenex box in this one.
You know what, though? I would rather watch something hokey that is like
Fun.
trying to take itself serious but is like failing and being goofy than something that is trying to take itself serious and is boring because of that. You know, like
this is the age-old question. I know what you're saying.
At least I had fun watching the other ones.
To say as well that it's the most serious, is that because it's trying to be serious? Or is that just because there's nothing happening that we can point at and say,
okay,
right.
I have to say one thing. I'm going to defend one thing about this movie. The scene where the bad guy is sicked on, what's the girl's name? Natasha? Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Yasmin. And for like, you actually think like he's going to like torture her. It's actually well directed. Like there are moments in the movie that are well thought out, I think.
Is that the scene where he takes a paperclip and he's stretching the paperclip out, and then
he's about to
Tomalak is like he's choosing his weapon?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Did you think that was good?
It had me scratching my head a little bit. Like this does not at all seem threatening.
Yeah.
In the slightest.
I guess it could have been more threatening than a paperclip, but
he doesn't use it, right?
No, he doesn't.
So like it would be different if he like if we see him like beforehand like bending them and then like hitting like a dartboard, like bullseye,
okay.
and then he like folds it again, and you see him, and then it's just like
some sort of
build-up. It's like he takes a staple out of a stapler and he's like holding it.
Oh no!
And then he didn't use it.
I kind of felt like he was like just taking a rubber band and like
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, exactly. Oh, not the rubber
Have
band.
Mercy.
Yeah.
Have mercy.
Like
Zed. Is that the guy's name? Zed.
Zed.
Have mercy, Zed.
Oh man.
So I guess is it safe to say that unfortunately the Incredible Hulk went out on a whimper rather than a.
I think he died of embarrassment.
Ooh.
Once he fell out of the plane, he's like,
I
"Oh,
can't
really?
do this."
Really?"
Yeah.
If I were to give this movie a one-word review, it would be stinky.
Okay, all right. One thing I'm gonna amend. I'm gonna say that I did laugh out loud. Is that was a callback, right? That was a setup and a payoff.
That's
the
what
stinky because he set the stink bomb off in high school.
Yeah, I know that
like,
was.
Oh, this will wake him up out of his coma if we.
His wife
What's
was
you putting that stink bomb?
I love you, Ronnie. Please wake up. It's your wife. Nothing. Asleep. Stinky. He's like,
that's me, Dr. Stinky.
Was that when the tear
Are
was
you
like,
kidding me?
Was that when the tear came?
Oh my goodness!
Like, it was like clearly. I mean, I love Bill Bixby, but he was
this
like
is my new favorite movie now.
Exactly. This is the moment where we're gonna have some fun, and whatever. It didn't quite work. Yeah. What can I say? I don't know. Hey, what can I say? Thank Ian for making us watch this.
Did I really?
Well, we kind of voted about whether we should watch this movie, and I actually, Hulk fan here, was like, we don't have to watch it. But I think you two were like, hey, we've already watched the first two.
We watched the first two,
Maybe it was you that insisted we watch this one. Okay, blame Josh, okay?
Yeah, you can blame me. I'm fine with it.
But I'm glad I watched it, even though it was a 280p copy. I still enjoyed watching it. Blowing up on my big screen TV.
Being 4K
awesome.
would have made it so much better.
It would have made it so much better. The lighting would have made it better. Anyway, Well, there you go. That's the end of the Hulk. We're never going to review another Hulk movie again.
God, I sure hope not.
Yeah,
until we get to Ang Lee's Hulk.
Right.
Which is coming soon, eventually. That's it for Bill Bixby. That's it for Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Done. That's all. There's no more Hulk. Sorry, Ian. Okay. Ian will survive. Anyway, so coming up soon on Tape Crusaders, be sure to check in because we're going to be watching and reviewing Dick Tracy.
That's right.
What was the ones that Angela just said again?
The Flash.
And
the Flash and the Crow. So be sure to join us. Oh, she's still here? Okay.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
Be sure to join us. And Josh, you can take it from here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. You can find all of our stuff over on our website at thecomicbooksyndicate.com. All of our podcasts are video format now, so you can also check them out on our YouTube channel. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys think about the movies, the TV shows, the comics, things we're talking about. And keep in touch.
Join us every Wednesday at Meteor to watch all of our fun movies
right.
on Meteor Uniplex Movie Night. Thank you, Champion.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming out.
That's right. Until the next time, see you later.